The Last of Us is one of my favorite games, and now that Season 2 is dropped, it kind of gave me the motivation to finish this Last of Us inspired art piece. So, let's get into it. So when I first got my resin printer, I printed this Last of Us clicker that I started to paint and never really finished. Well, recently I picked up an airbrush and figured this would be a great time to get some practice in and give it a try. So I started with giving a few layers of base coats, going over subtly more and more, building up the layers and details. Once I got the skin kind of finished to where I wanted it, I started on the head, all the fungus that had a bit more warmth, but underneath all that warmth is a much more pale, sickly color. So I had to dial that in. I also added some blood effects because, well, let's be honest, these clickers are not the most friendly bunch. After that was done, I had a decent base layer that I would use as my starting point before going in with a brush and add in some more details. One of my favorite additions was the Citadel's Blood for the Blood God blood effect paint. It's just the best paint I've found for blood effects, as it gives that wetness look even after it dries. Now that that was done, I had these old foam terrain pieces I'd cut up for bricks. So I decided to slice them down and assemble them on this picture frame that I used as our base for this piece. I slowly laid them out and kind of pieced them together before covering them with Mod Podge to make sure they would be completely sealed, so I could then go on to add a layer of paint. This then went on with a couple of layers, including a dry brush, which allowed everything to come together and look like worn down bricks that have been weathered with time. And after that, it was a matter of adding some washes to just soak into those gaps between the bricks. I then realized I went a little too deep with the reds on the clicker's head, so I went in and touched that up a bit, adding some more of those mushroom fungus-like colors. At this point, it was just as simple as gluing it down to the frame and then adding some more details. I decided to add some foliage that I had and used before to basically just add that ran down, overgrown look to this frame, as that it comes out of the frame itself and consumes this art piece, just like the disease that the clickers have. And with that, I now have the finished piece that resides in my home speakeasy. I'm excited to see what happens with Season 2 of The Last of Us. It was really one of my favorite games playing, so I think it deserves a space on the wall in the speakeasy. And don't worry, there's no spoilers here, but if you have not played the second game, you are in for a wild ride. Well, that's all for now. Until we tackle another build together, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take care.